Hello everyone, I am Bilal from codevertex.com. I have been programming in PHP for last many years. I hate when the art of coding or PHP is presented as a black art and it is projected as something more complex than it actually is. It is a very simple thing. Programming by itself is a very simple art. Give me a chance to explain it to you. Before we explain or understand any language, we need to understand what purpose that language serves. In this case, let's take PHP. Before we can understand PHP, we have to understand what are dynamic websites. Once upon a time, every website was a static website. It was a collection of pages and we could read one page and then jump from one page to another page. Every page remained the same. It would serve the same contents whenever displayed. Then came PHP, Ruby, and other such languages. They converted static websites into dynamic websites. So a simple definition of PHP is a back-end scripting language specially aimed at creating dynamic web pages. Now let's see this in detail. What is a back-end language? When we connect to internet, there is a web server which serves web pages, and then there is a client computer on which those pages are being viewed. The PHP lives and works on web servers. It does not work on user or clients' machines. So all the code of PHP is run at server level and only its output is then displayed to the user. That is what it means by back-end language. PHP programmers are also referred to as back-end developers. So this is where this word came from. Here is a simple example of PHP code. It states if the user is logged in and the login is true, we echo welcome. If it is not the case, then we echo please log in first. So once this code is run, depending upon if the user is logged in or not, the appropriate word or the sentence will be echoed or displayed to the user. The user or the client on the other end will either see welcome or will see please log in first. So this is what we mean by dynamic pages. That is the behavior of the page change based on the circumstances and based on the code. The second point is what is a scripting language. Now C#, Java or C++ are known as compiled languages. It means that once the code is written, before the code is run, it is converted into machine language of ones and zeros. Whereas languages like PHP, JavaScript, HTML, they are not compiled, and they are, once they are run, they are read from top to bottom, line by line, and executed. They remain in the format in which they are written. One of the big difference between compiled language and a scripting language is that a compiled language is always faster in execution, whereas a scripting language is not. But on the other hand, a scripting language is not machine dependent. It can be written on any machine and will execute on any other machine which supports it, whereas the compiled languages are processor dependent. Here we have gone into a little detail, but scripting languages like JavaScript, HTML, PHP, Ruby, they are different from C++, C#, and Java. The last thing that I like to mention is that PHP is specially designed for creating dynamic websites. This is a language which specializes in this thing. PHP along with Ruby or Python are specially designed for creating dynamic websites, and they work on the server. This cannot be said about C# or Java, which are known as multi-purpose languages. These languages claim that they can be used, and rightly so, for any programming purposes. We can write software for a microwave oven in Java, whereas PHP is not for that specific purpose. PHP is a specifically web development language. So it does one thing and it does it well. I hope it clarified